Well, hello, my name is Andy Tidy and welcome aboard the NarrowBoat video channel, the YouTube channel which seeks out the best archive inland waterways related films on the internet and shares them with you. Links to the full-length videos can be found on the NarrowBoat magazine website, and to help you find them I've added a link into the description field below. Click onto the NarrowBoat webpage, select the video that you want and you're off. Having spent several months exploring various aspects of the inland waterways through the years, and in particular the commercial carrying years, this time we are leaping forward into the 1960s, when the focus had shifted from commercial to recreation. You could argue that this moves into the modern canal era, but it was still a time when the very existence of the canals was under threat. And as this was 50 years ago, the following films can be considered archive. When I look at them, I see the canals as I first remember them, and they were very different to the waterways that we enjoy today. The first film I'd like to introduce is NarrowBoat Across the Chilterns. You may remember a video by Snowden in our very first episode of NarrowBoat Videos. Well, this is a 13-minute narrated film from the same stable.
Arcturus was converted from a cargo-carrying narrowboat. Passing beneath Lower King's Road, we enter lock number 53. Locks on the Grand Union's main line at just over 14 feet wide can hold two narrowboats side by side.
My next film is delving back into the British Film Institute's archive and at the same time delving back into my own history. You see, I grew up in Norfolk and by a strange twist of fate I went to school at the very northern end of the North Walsham and Dilham Canal, Norfolk's only proper canal. This 12-minute narrated documentary was made in 1966 and provides a great insight into the origins and the operations of this wherry canal. I appreciate that this is all a long way from the narrowboats of the Midlands, but the UK's inland waterways are diverse and varied, and this short rural canal has its place, particularly among the dedicated team who've been busy restoring its northern lengths. And, dare I say it, making greater progress than many much more sizable restoration bodies.
Loaded 170 cools of maize, and hadn't been there long, and the harbour master, he come to me. I was 18 years old then. He come to me, he says, "Where's the skipper of this wherry?" I said, "Here, right here." "What, you?" I said, "Yes, me." Of course, he said, "You're young, ain't you?" I said, "Yes, I'm young," I said, "but the doctor said I should grow out of that."
At Honing was the first lock. This had a keeper who handed over the key to the wherrymen to open other locks further up the canal. Mr. Waters still remembers the exact procedure as he came to one.
You get to the lower, what we call the lower doors, and there's pieces on them, there's pieces where you can get hold on, wood like that, you can get hold on. Walk up the log doors, throw your line up first, climb up the log doors, pull the old wherry ahead or stand wherever you want to go, shut the doors, lower the slakers, and then hoist the top slakers. And the old wherry come up and set.
Beyond Honing Lock, the canal has grown up almost beyond recognition.
On the theme of restoration, our next short clip is a Pathé news item featuring the Stourbridge Rally in 1962. The newsreel footage suggests a very jolly and festive occasion, but it offers very little insight into the trauma and the confrontation which preceded it. The standoff of draglines at dawn between those supporting the restoration and the powers that be that were threatening injunctions if even a bucket of silt was disturbed.
East. but the Stourbridge Rally is another indication of the tremendous enthusiasm behind the Inland Waterways Association's efforts to keep the canals open. Inland sailors are increasing all the time. It's a holiday that's only a chug away from traffic jams. But for all the family, there's a different look about things. There's a new sort of peace on the old canals that remember the burden of coal and steel.
The event proved to be the tipping point in the canal restoration movement. Had those defiant boaters not stood their ground, much of the canal system as we know it today would have been lost. The next film is called Holidaying on the Brecknock and Abergavenney Canal and was also drawn from the British Film Institute archive. It follows the fortunes of the Davies family, who explored this disconnected canal over a period of 2 weeks in 1964. This silent film was made by an enthusiastic amateur filmmaker and as such finds its way into the National Archive, revealing what leisure boating was like in the 1960s. And to round off this month's selection, I'm taking liberties with my 1960s theme, and I want to show you a clip of an American take on our inland waterways made in 1982, and it was taken from the CRT's archives. This 27-minute film shows a somewhat more developed leisure industry.
A trip on the canals will go through cities along routes established nearly 2 centuries ago. Following these original trade routes laid out by Brindley, Telford, and other civil engineers of their time is to retrace the paths of our recent history, to see those first connections between factory and mine, field and market. Even the early machinery can still be experienced. It may not always be cooperative, but these minor challenges are all a part of the adventure.
Well, I hope that you've enjoyed this month's selection of archive footage. For many of you, it will have been a journey down memory lane. And for others with fewer canal years under your belts, you'll have perhaps seen the network in a different light. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to bringing you some more clips from my favourite archive films next month. But for now, cheerio, happy viewing, and I'll see you soon.